What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. So I'm really excited to create this video for you guys, or film this video for you guys, because this topic is something near and dear to my heart, because it really changed my life in conjunction with a couple of other things, which I will mention. But this is going to be about how journaling changed my life. And I have been journaling every day for over a year now. The title of this video is probably going to be what I learned from journaling for a full year. That's because I wasn't always consistent when I first started out, just like meditation. I'm still not consistent with meditation, but I have been journaling for so long. So what I use is, I typically love this self journal. This is not sponsored. This is truly just the one that I love. So it has like different weeks you can do each week, plan out your month. And then it has daily things. So here I have, sometimes I write like a diary type thing. Other days it's just about what I need to do for the day. So in this journal, for example, it just has like, here's a blank page, just has a blank space. You can time block your day, which is something that I do sometimes. Every single morning I write 3 things I'm grateful for. Same with every single night. I write what my main goal is, like the most important thing I have to do, or sometimes even I just write affirmations there. So I'm gonna jump into kind of what I do. So like I said, every morning I write what I'm grateful for. Doesn't matter. Usually they try to tell you, or usually like the rule of thumb is like, you know, for example, like my son, and then like I might write like my growth or therapy, or, you know, my boyfriend or my family, whatever it is. But you try to do different types of things. Because if you do like, I'm grateful for Matt, my mom, and Grayson, like they're all people. Does that make sense? So like, I'm grateful to have the ability to help people with one hair up, or I'm grateful for my body for, you know, being healthy and keeping me alive. Like, you know, different things like that. So I try to make them a little bit different. So I do that, and then they have like this time blocking era. So if you guys have not time blocked your day, you're missing out, because especially myself, I, number 1, work from home. Number 2, I'm a mother of a toddler. And number 3, I am an entrepreneur and I own a business, and I'm trying to own or start more businesses, right? So time blocking is essential, because the day gets away from you. Like, it's almost 2 p.m. right now, and I'm like, how? Like, I woke up at 5:45 this morning, and I just feel like there's still not enough time in the day. It's crazy how time flies by. When you time block, it changes your life, because you have to stick to a certain topic at a specific time, and you can only have that time allotted to you. And that way you don't kind of like dilly-dally, you don't scroll on Instagram for 80 years, you know what I mean? It keeps you in line. For example, like my goal, I'll either write the most important thing that I have to do for that day. Like, I don't know if you guys have ever read the book, The One Thing, but if you haven't, it's a great book. It talks about how you should focus on one thing at a time, because if you have 100 things that you gotta do, you're not gonna do all of them effectively, right? But sometimes I write affirmations there. Sometimes I need to remind myself, I am love. Like, a lot of times I write, I am love, I am confident, I am powerful, I am successful. It really helps me, because I'm like, sometimes I can get a little pessimistic with myself, or I don't believe in myself, or different things like that, which I try my best to not feel that way, but sometimes that's just the truth. Then I do today's targets. It says, what will make today a win for you? I usually write the 3 most important things I have to do. Then they have like a little quote. So this one, you don't design your own life plan. Chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan, and guess what they have planned for you? Not much. That's good. I really like that. So I really like these little quotes. Who doesn't like quotes, right? It's just like another little boost of confidence, another boost of like energy and affirmation type things. So then later in the day, I always grab my journal before bed. I do lessons learned, so opportunities for improvement, wins. This is where you get to brag about yourself, and I think everyone should brag about themselves. And then you write 3 things you're grateful for. And oftentimes I use this little note and ideas section to just write some thoughts. So if I go to therapy on one day, for example, I'll usually write about my therapy session. Or if I'm having a really tough day, I need a sip of coffee. If I'm having a really tough day, I write about it. If I'm having a great day, I write about it. If something really good happened, I write about it. So sometimes I use my journal as a diary, and sometimes I just use it as an organization tool. But I'm gonna go into why it changed my life and why journaling can really benefit you or anyone else. I really think that everyone should journal. It's just one of those personal development tools that can just better your life. And I just feel like, why not try to be better all the time? Why not focus on the things that you can improve on? Like, no one's perfect. Everyone can improve in so many different ways. I didn't pick my nose. It just felt like there was like liquid coming out. So, you know, I didn't want that just dripping down there. But, so I'm gonna go into a couple of things. So first thing is first, journaling can decrease anxiety, stress, depression. I actually have general anxiety disorder and panic disorder. And I really feel like journaling, therapy, and meditation has really, really, really helped me. I will be the honest truth, it has helped me. Now, I feel like with anxiety or depression or stress, you have to find what works for you. Obviously, certain things are not gonna work for everyone. Like, you know, maybe you hate journaling, but maybe you love it and maybe it does help you. But it's also kind of like, for example, meditation. I have never enjoyed meditation because I just couldn't get into it. But to me, that means that I need to work on it. So it's kind of like in the gym, when you hate an exercise, that usually means it's because you can make improvements on it, right? So I know that I have never really been a great meditator, if that's a word. So if you hate it, just try it. Like, try something for 30 days and see if you like it. Honestly, I just feel like it wouldn't hurt, right? And obviously some days you're gonna have more things to write than other days, and that's okay. If you don't force yourself to do something, but I think it's worth a shot, just saying. In terms of the gratitude portion, obviously there are so many different types of journals out there. This is just one example. I get it on Amazon. I'm sure you can find so many different types of journals on Amazon. My friend Jessica's actually coming out with her own journal. I'm so excited for it. It's gonna have everything. And if it has come out, I will link it below, because friends gotta support friends, right? But in terms of the gratitude thing, if your journal does not have a section for gratitude, I still suggest you should write 3 things you're grateful for at least once a day, because there are scientific studies that gratitude changes your brain waves and it actually physically alters your brain in a positive way. That is amazing. Like, science and the human body and the brain specifically is so cool. Like, if you guys don't think that's cool, then you need to, I don't know what you need to do, but that's pretty crazy, right? Just saying 3 things you're grateful for every single day can change your brain in a better way. Like, my brain needs a lot of help sometimes, you know, after being a mom, and like, you kind of have 2 brain cells left. So if I can gain more brain cells, I don't think it works like that, guys, but you know, it's just a joke. But gratitude does change your brainwaves. And if you guys ever want, just look on Google Scholar, scientific studies, it's true. And it's pretty crazy. So I'm trying to change my brain I'm trying to change anything to make it more positive, to make it better, right? That's what we want to do, is we can always learn. So I've also heard that scientific studies have said that journaling could possibly be as beneficial as cognitive behavioral therapy, which is crazy, because like I said, therapy has truly changed my life. When I tell you therapy has changed my life, it has changed my life. And I still go to therapy and I love it, and it helps me be a better person every other week that I go. Obviously, my therapist is an angel. She helps me through tough shit. And there's always things that we can work on. Like me, my triggers, my traumas, my emotional reactions to something that triggers me. We all have shit that we've been through in our lives, and therapy just amazing. So if journaling can be as beneficial as cognitive behavioral therapy, that's pretty huge. That's pretty huge. So journaling is also a form of meditation, because it forces you to slow down. It forces you to focus on one thing at a time. And meditation is so hard to me, but journaling is so easy to me. Sometimes it's not easy. Like I said, you don't always have to write. Like, I don't write a ton of stuff. Like, this was one day where I did not write anything super long because nothing really significant happened. But, oh, here's an example of my time block. Pretty good, pretty good. And then this was like an example of a diary journal. So you guys don't really need to evergreen that, because especially I think a lot of them are on my therapy days. But something really cool too, so I actually have at least 2 to 3 journals at my house in my nightstand, and I use those during the hardest time of my life. I mentioned it to you guys before, but I went through a really tough time in 2019, actually the end of 2018 to the mid 2019. It was probably one of the hardest times in my life. That's where I actually seeked out a therapist. That's where I started going to therapy. But I wrote in my journal every single day during that time. And when I look back, sometimes I'll look back and I'll read some of this shit and I just start bawling, because I'm like, I was truly in such a dark place. Like, I just felt hopeless. I felt like I was at rock bottom at a few points, and to see myself where I am now, like, it just is a reminder of how amazing you can be for yourself and how you can truly get through anything. You know, sometimes like I still have shit happening in my life, because that's just life. Like, stuff happens, right? But when you look back and you're like, I got through that, I got through the hardest time of my life, came out stronger, came out better, came out, like, I am just so much better. I have grown so much since that time, and to look back and see where I was at then and where I'm at now is like the ultimate confidence booster. It's the ultimate eye opener to what we can pull ourselves out of. You know what I mean? Or the shit that you go through, you're just like, holy crap. Like, my heart goes out to my past self for what I went through, right? But it's kind of like whatever life throws at you, you know that you can go through it. So it's really amazing to just keep those as memories, as reminders, as just, it's just truly like, it's incredible. I can't even explain it. It's kind of like looking back at pictures where you're like, wow, I was like, you know, you remember your exact feelings. You remember your exact, like, everything. You know what I mean? Like, you remember a very specific time in your life, and like the feelings, the smells, like what you liked, like what you did, how you felt. It's like, it's so nuts that that's a thing, right? Journaling also can obviously help your reading, your writing, your memory, your learning abilities. Definitely your memory, obviously, like I just said, you can look back. But writing things down is known to help your memory, right? I know, like, when I was in college and stuff and I was studying, I had to write things down and I had to read it over and over and over again for me to memorize. And obviously the more you write and the more you read, the better you get at it. And your brain is like a muscle. It needs stimulation all the time. And that's why you need to read books. That's why you need to listen to podcasts. And this is something that you can do on your own time that will benefit you in so many other ways. And it will also help you in those things, right? So we can always learn more. We can always be better. There's just so many benefits to it, and it really helped me truly in all those ways. I guess a couple of tips for journaling. Like I said, just try it for at least like 30 days. This would be one of my first tips, is to just try it, right? If you hate it, you don't have to journal forever again. But I truly feel like you guys will feel the benefits, and you guys actually might like it. You know, like I said, some days you can do diary type journals. Some days you can just do it as a to-do list. If anything, it'll benefit you in your life just because you'll be more productive, you'll be more on it, you'll know what you have to do. It's kind of like writing down a to-do list and then checking off the boxes. It's pretty satisfying, right? It just kind of like, you just might be more successful, you might be happier. I just feel like the benefits outweigh the negatives, but like I said, if you guys hate it, you don't have to do it. I suggest truly getting some type of journal like the one I use, just because it makes it easy for you to write down things, because it has everything there to fill out. Like, it's almost like you're filling out a sheet of paper. It really doesn't, like, if you just did it on your own, you'd probably be like, what do I write about today type thing. And then this way you can like write extra if you want. You can write just the bare minimum. It's just a good way to get started. And you might just stick with this type of journal, or if you wanted to do more so like a diary type thing, then you can move on to that. And yeah, I just feel like the last tip is just to be like, do what feels best for you. So whether, like I said, whether you just use it to write 3 things you're grateful for and change your brainwaves a little bit, good. If you want to write a full-on diary every single day just about your day, do it. Like, do what comes naturally to you and what feels good for you and what you feel like you benefit from. So I don't know, guys, this is just my experience with journaling. I'll probably be journaling for the rest of my life, hopefully. Next is I need to get consistent with meditation because that's where I struggle. But I just feel like in any way that, like, I'm just huge into personal development lately, and I feel like everyone can always be better, right? We can always improve. Knowledge is one of the best things to have. We can always learn more things, and work that brain, y'all, work it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys do journal and it changed your life, let me know how. Let me know any tips that you might have for people that are new to journaling or how to start journaling. So yeah, let me know like any of your input, and I'd love to hear from you guys as always, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.